what is your best advice for managing all the things that you have to do every day in work and in life?
So I don't know if I have a single best, advice and best piece. It's interesting that the piece that you might think is more pedestrian, it's around day-to-day execution. We talked about time management a little bit earlier. The discipline about preparation and the discipline about prioritization, because you're doing it constantly. I mean, literally every minute you're thinking about, what am I going to do that, I'm going to do that, and the prioritization. And I think the planning rigor and sort of the, I'm a list maker. I do the thing, and I actually use pen and paper. It's so ironic. It's about the only thing I ever use pen and paper for.
That's so funny. I do too, and I check it off as I go along in my day.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily do one each day, but I do is I'm thinking about periods of time. But having current a prioritization of things that are the important things to get done. And some are big, like, set the strategic agenda for the coming year, and some are small, like I have a board meeting next week and I really want to think through what I want to achieve in that meeting. But spending more time planning what you're going to do versus racing to do it, because my tendency, I just want to get on with it. I think it'd be the best kind of counsel, particularly for people earlier in their career, because if you don't have clarity about what you're trying to achieve, obviously it's going to be much tougher to get there. And so time spent cycling through versus time really thinking through and planning, I think, is the big piece. And the other, the one piece of advice, you'll love this, but I worked for a guy, Bill Meehan, who was the head of the McKinsey office in San Francisco. And one time, I don't remember why, he was sort of in some ways like a mentor. I've never been a great mentee, but I've taken things from a lot of people. And he goes, hey, when you're making a list of those 7, 10, whatever it is, things you need to do, put 1 or 2 things on the list that you've already done. Right? So why would you possibly do that? And he goes, well, when you look at that list of 10 things and none of them are checked, it's kind of daunting. So put 1 or 2 that you've already done, have them checked off. And he goes, you just feel better about it.
Celebrate your milestones.
And I thought, Bill, that's like the craziest thing I've ever heard. I do it all the time. I put at least 1 or 2 things that I know I can get done in the next day, so that I won't be looking back at that list that is sort of daunting. And psychologically, I think he was right. It's a powerful thing.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Actually, so you
Give
feel
yourself
at the
one.
end. Yes.
Give
so
yourself one to start.
Exactly. So at least you can feel at the end of the day, I did something. I got something done.
Exactly. Which is motivational to do more.